Uganda first.
Welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to transform you and inspire you as a young person to be able to contribute to this country's development and make sure that as young people we also take part in issues of national importance and make sure that whatever happens in our country as the young population, of which we are the majority, we are part of it, and we'll be proud in the few years to come to say Uganda is because we are. Today we are going to be talking about the role of youth in as far as influencing the politics of Africa is concerned. Youth of Purpose is a show that is here to transform you and inspire you as a young person to contribute to Uganda's development and make sure that we are part of whatever transpires in our country. And I have a very great panel today that I believe is going to help us, elaborate on how as young people we're going to position ourselves right to benefit from the East African community that has grown with the coming in of DRC. And today on the show I have Chiyimba Shafiq, a student at Makerere University. Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Hello viewers, my name is Chiyimba Shafiq. I'm a student of the law at Makerere University. I'm the legal director, Selfly Travel Solutions, and a human rights activist. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you, Shafiq. And also I have Mwanguzi Boni, who is also a student at Makerere University. Kindly say hello.
Hello viewers, my name is Mwanguzi Boni, and equally I'm a law student at Makerere here, but I was CEO of Here With You, a youth organization, NGO, and also a passionate person about climate change. I'm a climate activist.
Amazing.
Yes.
Starting with you, Shafiq.
Yes.
What picture do you have, or what kind of a picture can you paint for us as far as African youth are concerned in influencing the politics of their countries, but also working together as African youth?
Well, thank you so much, Ivan. First of all, I would like to send my sincere condolences to the people of Uganda upon the death of the Right Honorable Speaker Jacob Oulanyah. Jacob Oulanyah was so passionate about seeing the young people thrive throughout the spaces that we have in the country, and he missed a lot of opportunities to the young people. First of all, welcome the Democratic Republic of Congo to the East African community. I think it's of great value addition in far as our free market economics is concerned, and stability of the region. If we look at the local politics within the region and Africa as large, the struggles time to time since independence within the present dispensation, the different struggles. The struggles of the Kwame Nkrumahs, the Julius Nyereres, the Nelson Mandelas, the Samora Machels, and the Modlani Chivambos. They were struggles against bad politics that was shipped into by the white men. It was a struggle of independence to disentangle ourselves from the white man rule. However, when in the post-independence Africa, when African countries attained independence, here we came with our African leaders, the black leaders. We formed governments with legislatures, the parliaments with people's representatives, governments with the judiciaries and the executives. However, it's very unfortunate that in the post-independence Africa we've had politics that has been characterized by militarization and suppression of the voices of the young people, more especially in Uganda and Africa at large. And this still reflects itself within the struggles that we continue to have as young people in the continent to disentangle ourselves from the bad politics by our African leaders in the post-independence Africa.
Where do we see today, when you talk about, the voices of young people being suppressed, where do you see common voices of African young people speaking the same language, speaking out loud on these issues that you're talking about, and where do we come together to merge the population, the big population that we have as the young people, to make sure that we influence the politics of Africa?
Well, I think just like I've said that the struggles differ within the different countries that we have. However, as young people in Africa, we've tried to share common platforms through which our ideas and views can be shared. And this has been through the different institutions that have come up to give platform to the young people through the workshops and the seminars that we've had. However, I think the level of consciousness on the political arena on the continent is still so low, most especially in Uganda. And it goes back to the policies that we have as countries, or the governments, the policies that we put in place within our internal settings. Under environments whereby the African people can't air out their views and assert their voices locally, it's very hard for them to have a unanimous voice on the African continent, to have this voice be heard globally, even beyond the precincts of Africa. So I think it goes back to our internal politics. However, we've seen young people rise up on the African continent, even in the post-independence. You see the Julius Malemas in South Africa with the economic freedom fighters, the Bobby Wines of this world with the National Unity Platform, and very many other youth leagues that we have within the political parties. And we've shared platforms. I mean, young people are sharing their views day by day. However, the leaders that we have in the post-independence era have not taken much upon themselves to see that young people thrive.
Amazing. You see, I cut you short from there. When you talk about, for example, the Bob Wines of today, the Malemas of today, we see a lot of influence Malema is having in South Africa. The same we see, Bob Wine is having here in Uganda.
Absolutely.
I would have loved to see, for example, now the Malema Bob Wine coalition talking about the interests of Africa, leaving out just the politics of their countries and stuff. Where do we see that voice? Seeing someone from South Africa, someone from East Africa, someone from North Africa, from West Africa, that we have those voices. We can say these are the voices of young people who confront the interests of Africa. I'm not seeing that. Coming to you, Bonnie.
Yes.
All these politics of Africa and how our economies are transforming and whatever is being determined on what Africa is going to be in the near future, where do we see the role of the youth?
Before you get to know what role you have to play, you have to first diagnose what problems are there. Understand? We share common problems as youths, and these ones won't care whether you're from this political party or the other political party. Those ones don't matter. Unemployment cuts across. One of the reasons certain people go on and support certain persons is because they want to be employed. They don't care whether they will be bootlickers, but they will want to do that. In the tropics, we suffer from malaria. Down south, I think they have, every place has its own diseases, and the challenges there, they must be countered by us. Understand? But how do we then counter these challenges with the political sidelining we have? It is absurd that the people who took over from our great people who were younger, but they are now old and they don't think we are capable of actually taking over this nation. I mean, why would, with all, why would my president want to still stand, in this country where we have majority of youths who are very capable? I mean, we should take over these spaces and we change all these things the way we feel we can change them, because at the end of the day, the problems of the youths must be solved in the ways of the youth.
But don't you think you're just going for blame game and going away from your responsibility? If we say maybe the positions of the presidents, the MPs, those are very few positions. Yes, they are decision-making positions, but then I want us to look at what we can be able to do as young people where we are. For example, we talk about agriculture. I know maybe in the village you have where you do agriculture from and stuff. Right now we have this big population of the East African community. We have the Africa Free Trade Zone. So what are we doing as the young people to make sure that we empower ourselves, but also position ourselves right to be able to benefit from these opportunities? As we are talking about the entry of DRC into the East African community, over 92 more million people coming on board, and you know, all this huge population, how can we be able to utilize that as young people to be able to transform ourselves?
I thank you. When you talk of DRC, the entry into the East African community, it means more integration. I had a chance. I traveled through East Africa recently to Tanzania, Kenya. But I'll tell you, what we have on paper is actually very different from what is in practice.
Implemented.
That you will say we will need integration, but if we reached a place, we reached a point of I think it was in Mutukula, we had to pay something
to be able to
get into Tanzania.
Wow.
Yet it mean yet we have this thing of this is we are in East Africa. This is an integration. I mean, we should understand that the entry of DRC is more political than anything else. Understand? And
what is not political anyway?
I mean, our leaders have taken us down that path, and it's absurd that we are now reserving to look at things in a political view. But one, DRC comes into the East African community where we have failed to have a currency of our own. We have failed to fully integrate. You know, integration feels simple. It won't help us not until we have a common language which cuts across, because then it will not be meaningful. Personally, I transact in this language, you transact in the other one. You feel the integration. These people will still feel we can actually be on our own. We don't need these people. We are talking of the markets. You want to talk of markets. How much do you produce? What do you import? Because with the addition of the 92 million people, you should be able to have something substantive you take to the 92 million people. But what do we have in Uganda? What do we produce personally?
I think, Bonnie, you're being a bit more pessimistic. How can we be, positive and optimistic about this initiative? When you talk about what are we going to offer to DRC, go to Arua and see how much Congolese are buying from Ugandans to take to Congo. We are producing maize, we are producing milk, we are generating power. A lot of agricultural products that we are producing. How can we look at the positive? Yes, the challenges are going to be there, but we are not going to focus on what is going wrong, because we are not going to benefit from what is going wrong. How can we benefit from the little that is right for now as young people?
I don't think everything is wrong, but again,
Good afternoon and welcome to Uganda Broadcasting Corporation TV. My name is John Bad Setabu. It's a Saturday. It's very cool wherever you are. In studio with me, Fifi, Fiona Pinky Namiro. It's a match day. It's the FUFA Women's Super League. It's one of those that you can think has whetted the appetite. For those of you that are so much into women's football, you cannot fail to be a part of this. Those that have gone down to the International Islamic University of Uganda, in Uganda, down at Kaboja, I think you must be enjoying the ambience.